Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois. The JCS New England Television Network presents exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball. Today, the final game of this three-game series between the Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. Good afternoon, everyone, and a happy 4th of July to everybody back in New England. Sean McDonough, delighted to have you with us as the Red Sox try to get back on the winning track. Today's game marks the unofficial end of the first half of the season. It's game number 81 of 162. The Red Sox through 80 games are 46-34. That's good for second in the American League East. 4 games behind the first place New York Yankees, but that record is also good for 4th best in all of Major League Baseball. And pitching has been the key to the Red Sox success. Their earned run average 4.04, best in the American League. Their hitting average at best, and the fielding has been on the slide lately. I'm joined as always by Jerry Remy. Jerry, the Red Sox with a very impressive first half, certainly better than most people expected. Lately, some sloppiness as injuries have taken hold.
Well, Sean, I'm impressed at some of those numbers in the first half because they have had a number of injuries, and most recently, right now, they're trying to limp into the All-Star break and get that by him. Nomar Garciaparra with the left groin injury. He is basically day-to-day, but going down to Tampa Bay on that turf, I don't know how much we're going to see of him. Guthrie may have to go on a disabled list as he hurt his ankle in the ball game yesterday, and of course, the other guys, Valentin, Gordon, Fry, Hatterberg, and Pena, all should be back for the second half of the season. So when you talk about those first half numbers, it's impressive that they've been able to do it without a lot of their key players, and this is a team that should get stronger in the second half of the season just because of some of those injuries, and they'll get some of those fellas back.
The pitching matchup today features 2 veteran right-handers, each of whom has pitched pretty well lately. Bret Saberhagen has won his last 2 starts to go to 4-2. He's coming off a gem of a performance in his last outing. He'll be opposed by Jamie Navarro, 6-6, but he's 4-2 in his last 6 decisions. First pitch on a smoking hot day in Chicago, right after this.
Here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks now.
What are you doing tonight? Helen and I don't have any plans. Great! Sparky and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us? That'd be great! Great! If I can beat the traffic, I'll pick up some Bud Light! Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here! I'll see you and the wife tonight!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here! Oh, thank you very much!
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
It introduced the most powerful overall line of pickups on the planet and stamped the terms V10 and Magnum power indelibly on the face of truckdom. It kicked open the door to the next generation of pickups and made such an impression that today, this is all you have to see to know what's behind it.
Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by your friendly Dodge dealer. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change, the new Dodge. And by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places and do things you never thought possible. Fly Southwest Airlines. Back live at Comiskey Park in Chicago. Far less than capacity crowd on hand on this 4th of July holiday on a sweltering day. In Chicagoland, the temperature up in the mid-90s, and with high humidity, the heat index has it feeling like it's well over 100 degrees, and that's the same weather being experienced by much of the nation on this holiday weekend. Jamie Navarro ready to go to work, and the Red Sox, Jerry, trying to bounce back after yesterday's loss, one of their worst performances of the year.
Yesterday was a very ugly game for the Red Sox. Defensively did not play well, and that game was over pretty quick in the first few innings.
Red Sox made a number of mental errors, looked a little bit sluggish. You don't want to make excuses for them. It might have been the result of the long night they had getting here after Thursday night's home game. Didn't arrive here in Chicago till about 5 a.m. Eastern time. Looked like that might have caught up with them yesterday. The starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Red Sox, after losing yesterday, are 46-34 as they play the final game of the first half of the season. They have Darren Lewis in center field and leading off. Jose Offerman is the second baseman. Batting third, the DH Brian Daubach. Mike Stanley, the first baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Troy O'Leary in left field bats fifth. He has put together an 11-game hit streak. Lou Merloni at shortstop. The Red Sox again without Nomar Garciaparra today. Perhaps he could pinch hit, but that's it. Jason Varitek is the catcher, hitting seventh. Wilton Veras at third base bats eighth, and batting ninth, the right fielder Trot Nixon.
And the defense this afternoon for the White Sox. Craig Wilson will be at third base. Mike Caruso, the shortstop. Ray Durham at second. And Paul Konerko, the first baseman. Left to right, Carlos Lee, Chris Singleton, and Maglio Adonias. Brooke Fordyce behind the plate. And on the mound, right-hander Jamie Navarro. Sean, you mentioned earlier in the open he's pitching well recently, but this has been not a very good career for Navarro with the Chicago White Sox. He's really struggled. He was 8-16 a year ago, only 6-6 this season. In his career, though, against the Red Sox, he is 11-4. That going back quite a long time to his days with the Milwaukee Brewers. And then you see his last outing, it was a loss over the Kansas City Royals. 3-2 in the month of June. 3 wins in 1 month for him has been very good since he's been a member of the White Sox.
I guess because of those numbers against the Red Sox, Jerry, when we see him pitch, you wonder why he hasn't been a more consistent winner, more effective pitcher as a major leaguer.
Gives up a lot of base hits, a lot of base runners against Navarro, both base hits, walks, and that seems at times to get him into some pretty serious trouble.
He has complained also about the umpiring. Very vocal outburst earlier this year. Feels like he doesn't get the breaks that he should get. Rocky Rowe will call his pitches today with Bill Welke at first base, John Hirschbeck at second, Mike Everett at third. Going to be a tough day back there for Rocky in this heat, wearing all that equipment. So the Red Sox trying to win the rubber game of this 3-game series. They lead the season series with Chicago 5-3. The 11-2 victory yesterday for the White Sox, their biggest winning margin of the season. They owed the Red Sox a beating or two with a couple of lopsided victories against Chicago posted by the Red Sox last weekend at Fenway Park. Don't know the reason for the delay, but Rocky Rowe is looking into the Red Sox dugout. It gives us time to check out the standings. The Yankees won in dramatic fashion yesterday against Baltimore. A 3-run homer by Scott Brocious in the ninth to give them a 1-run win, so they lead the Red Sox by 4. The Red Sox starting to drift back. Last year at this time, the Red Sox were 48-32. Their record was 2 games better, but they were 10 games behind the Yankees. The Yankees were on their way to that phenomenal total of wins. First pitch from Navarro, a ball to Darren Lewis. .259 for Lewis, 2 homers and 18 runs batted in. And there's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think the reason for that delay, Sean, there was a monitor, a television monitor right at the edge of the Red Sox dugout, and of course that's not allowed. Red Sox didn't put it there, but they've asked him to get rid of it.
Lewis drives one to deep left, and Carlos Lee makes the catch just in front of the warning track for the first out of the ball game. 88 degrees at game time with very high humidity. Breeze west southwest at 10 miles per hour. Looks like it's blowing out toward left today. Tends to swirl in this ballpark. Certainly feels a heck of a lot warmer than 88 degrees.
I'll tell you what, it was about 88 degrees last night, about 9 o'clock at night. Very warm the last couple of days, and I guess it's supposed to last right until tomorrow. And then they get a little relief.
Jose Offerman takes a strike. He's hitting .294. Switch hitter, batting .317, left-handed. As the season's gone along, the number of extra base hits have really dropped off for Offerman. As you can see, he's had very little success, just 1 for 13 against Jamie Navarro. Off the end of the bat, a little pop-up back behind the Chicago dugout. Jose Offerman had 24 extra base hits in his first 39 games of the season. Since May 17th, he's hit just .247, has only 8 extra base hits. Out of play to the left. One ball, 2 strikes. Despite the extra base hit drought over the last month and a half or so, he is still among the league leaders in doubles with 23. Tied for 5th in the American League in that category. Little looper in left. Lee charged in to make the catch. 2 putouts for the left fielder and 2 down for the Red Sox here in the first.
These White Sox fans are starting to get a little bit excited about their ball club. It's a very young team. They come out, they play hard, aggressive baseball every day. You wouldn't know it by the numbers that show up here at Comiskey Park, but a lot of the print media has been very positive about this young ball club.
I heard some squeals for Brian Daubach again today. He has a number of relatives and friends who've made the 4.5-hour trip from his home, Southern Illinois, in Belleville near St. Louis. 309 for Daubach, 9 homers and 31 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch to him is a strike. 1-1.
You would put Navarro in that category of one of those pitches that throws across his body. And when you watch that center field camera, you can see just by how much. He steps toward that third baseline, and then back comes the shoulder and the arm around that.
Pat Rapp of the Red Sox has that type of delivery. Ball up and away. 3-1 now. Should Daubach reach, Mike Stanley would hit next. Pulled foul off first. Past Dave Jouse.
And you watch Navarro as he comes toward home plate. Now watch where that front leg will land. It will not be directly toward the plate. And then across comes the arm, the shoulder, across that body to make the pitch. A lot of arm injuries happen because of that type of delivery.
Daubach chops one up the middle, a base hit. Durham was playing way over in the hole. And the cheers go up for Daubach again. He's earned cheers with his play all season long. That looked like perhaps the softball team that his brother plays for. Brian had said if he didn't make it to the major leagues this year, he's probably just going to go back and play for his brother's softball team. Well, he has made it to the big leagues after 8 long years in the minors and has made a significant contribution to the Red Sox. He's at first with 2 outs for Mike Stanley. He takes the ball just a little bit low and inside. 278 for Mike. 9 homers, 39 runs batted in. He had a good day yesterday on an otherwise down day for the Red Sox. He went 2 for 3 and scored a run. The ball high. Navarro can get it up there in the low 90s. That one 91 miles per hour. The high pitches tend to register at a higher velocity on the radar gun.
Given up 12 home runs this season. That's second most behind Baldwin on his team. Baldwin's given up 19.
Down to third, Craig Wilson to Ray Durham for the out that ends the inning. After half inning in Chicago, the Red Sox nothing and the White Sox coming up.
Planning a summer vacation? We can help. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance, 1.9 financing, or a great lease rate on a Dodge Caravan. And for a limited time, when you buy or lease a Caravan from new dealer stock, you'll also get a prepaid Gulf Oil coupon book good for up to 3,000 highway miles of Gulf gasoline. Gulf, a name you know, a name you can trust. See your New England Dodge dealer and see why America's best-selling minivan might well be America's best vacation minivan.
How long does it take to earn free air travel? Book your trip on Southwest Airlines website and you'll get Rapid Rewards flight credits twice as fast.
You are now free to move about the country.
Southwest Airlines website gives you every fare and every flight, so you have everything you need to book a trip. Honest.
You are now free to move about the country.
Red Sox did not score in the top of the first. The White Sox getting ready to come to bat as they try to get above the 500 mark. They are 39-39 for the season. Their lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Ray Durham bidding for an all-star bid is at second base, the leadoff hitter. Chris Singleton at center field. Frank Thomas, the DH. Maglio Ordonez, the right fielder, is the cleanup hitter. Carlos Lee in left field. The first baseman, Paul Konerko, hits sixth. Batting seventh and doing the catching, Brooke Fordyce. Craig Wilson is the third baseman, hitting eighth, and batting ninth, the shortstop, Mike Caruso.
Yeah, the Red Sox are dropping defensively. They're now ninth in the league, 57 errors in the 80 games. It'll be Wilton Veras at third base, Lou Merlone the shortstop, Jose Offerman at second, and Mike Stanley at first base. Left to right, Troy O'Leary, Darren Lewis, and Trot Nixon. Jason Veritek, who was the DH yesterday, starts behind the plate. And on the mound, right-hander Bret Saberhagen. Since coming off the disabled list with that cut on his foot, he's pitched a total of 12 1/3 innings, has not allowed a run. He's only walked one. He struck out 5 back-to-back wins against Baltimore and most recently the Chicago White Sox. That last game he worked in 7 innings, and the Red Sox won that ball game 14-1. He's 2-0 against Chicago this season.
He was very impressive against the White Sox on Monday night at Fenway. Excellent control, as usual, changing speeds effectively, had the White Sox hitters off balance all night. So they get another shot at Saberhagen today. Ray Durham leads off. Cornermen in tight. Durham turned to bunt, and it's strike one. He's up above 300 again at 301. 9 homers and 38 runs batted in. An all-star last year, and they're talking about him as a possibility again this year. He scored 3 times yesterday, while going 2 for 5. Had another stolen base. He's stolen 3 bases in the series and had 4 hits. They have Gary Pettis, the former big league outfielder, as a roving base running instructor in their organization. He's worked with Durham lately, and Jerry Manuel says that has paid off for Durham. He's starting to lose his confidence a bit after being thrown out a few times. High fly and right. It looked like Nixon had a tough time picking it up, but he's there now for the first out of the inning.
It's very strange the way this ballpark is laid out. These day games, it can be very difficult to pick up the baseball. Most of the time the sun will set over the third base side in most ballparks. Here it's a different story. It almost goes toward the first base side, a little bit similar to Yankee Stadium.
Chris Singleton having a terrific rookie year at 319. 5 homers, 32 runs batted in. He drives one to deep right. Nixon retreating onto the warning track to make the catch. Well, Nixon has been tested twice, and he responded well on that line drive by Singleton that almost went over his head.
Like a changeup by Saberhagen, hit pretty well by Singleton, but now Nixon has come in to make a play and back toward the wall to make a play. So he's loose. There's no problem about that.
Nixon hasn't seen much action lately. The Red Sox recently have seen a number of left-handed starters from the opponents. They saw the 2 lefties last weekend, Parquet and Soroka at Fenway. They saw Wilson Alvarez Thursday night, and then the 2 lefties again, Parquet and Soroka, in the first 2 games of this series. So we haven't seen much of Trot. 322 the average for Thomas, who swung and missed at strike 1. 11 homers, 53 runs batted in. He pops it up, and it's Stanley making the catch. And Saberhagen has a 1-2-3 first, with significant assistance from Trot Nixon in right field. After an inning, no score.
From the beginning, the redesigned Dodge Dakota was different. It was the roomiest club cab in its class, the only one that offered a V8, and the only one ranked most appealing compact pickup by J.D. Power & Associates 2 years straight. Plus now, it's J.D. Power & Associates' best compact pickup in initial quality. Dakota, still turning the truck world upside down. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance and a no-charge V6 on select regular cab Dakotas.
Italy. Open up. Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Back at Comiskey, no score after one between the White Sox and the Red Sox. Well, the Greater Boston Food Bank and the Red Sox are teaming up to fight hunger in eastern Massachusetts. Participate in the 8th annual Red Sox Wise Food Drive by bringing nutritious, non-perishable canned foods to Fenway Park on Saturday, July 17th and Sunday, July 18th. The Red Sox Wives will be outside Fenway accepting donations to benefit the food bank. For more information, call 617-427-5200.
Jimmy Williams and the Red Sox didn't make any roster moves today despite the nagging injuries to Nomar Garciaparra and Mark Guthrie. Jimmy said before the game today wants to see how they're doing today and wanted to talk to Jim Rowe. But it is possible the Red Sox to make a roster move before tomorrow night's game in Tampa Bay. One problem that they have, they seem to have a glaring need for an additional middle infielder if Nomar is going to be banged up for a few days. But Donnie Sadler has been disabled down in the minors with a shoulder injury, and they really don't have any logical candidates to come up to help them in middle infield.
And it certainly becomes a problem if Nomar, say, can't play in that series at Tampa Bay. And they're going to be awful careful with him because he's playing on artificial surface for 4 straight days, and that could be a big problem.
No problems lately for Troy O'Leary. He's up to .310 by virtue of his 11-game hit streak. First pitch from Navarro, a check swing tapper down to third. Craig Wilson to Konerko for the out. Rather casual sidearm across the body throw by Wilson. It almost cost him an error. Konerko had to dig it out of the dirt.
So from what we've seen, Sean, in the few games with Wilson at third base, he appears to be a much better defensive player than Norton, who was over there for the most of the first part of the season. Norton's got a ton of errors, but Wilson looks like a pretty good player over there. Got a strong throwing arm.
Norton looked like a much better defensive player yesterday when he played first base. Lou Merlone hitting at even .300. Takes strike one from Navarro. Garciaparra says he is feeling better, making progress. Merlone sends one through the middle of base hit. Merlone, Garciaparra's understudy. Gives the Red Sox their second hit. But Nomar always wants to be out there. He's always going to say he's feeling better than he is because he wants so much to play that a lot of times it puts a big burden on the medical staff and on Jimmy Williams just to tell Nomar, well, that might be what you think, but our job is to almost protect you from yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what Jimmy Williams will do with guys like Garciaparra, he won't even ask them if they feel like they're okay. He'll just not put them in the lineup because you're right, Sean. He's the kind of guy who goes, I feel okay. You know, I think I can make it today. And they can't afford to take any chances.
Here's Jason Varitek with one out, the man at first. Jason at .254, 9 homers, 31 runs batted in. He was the DH yesterday as Creighton Gubonic got a start behind the plate. Varitek's been terrific against the White Sox. In 8 games, he's at .458. No score. Rubber game of a 3-game series. Third game of a 10-game road trip that takes the Red Sox up to the All-Star break. Breaking ball missed. 2-0 on Varitek. Navarro, 31 years old, a native of Puerto Rico. He now lives in Milwaukee. Played for the Brewers for several seasons. Began his career with the Brewers. Pitched 2 years for the Cubs, then came crosstown to the White Sox in his 3rd season with the White Sox. How about the Cubs? Their pitching staff, dreadful. They've given up 54 runs in the last 3 games, 21 last night in Philadelphia, losing 21-8.
It's so bad last night, Gary Gaetti got a chance to pitch an inning.
And they're considering him for a full-time berth in the starting rotation now.
Saw him get 1 strikeout. I guess somebody took him deep for a home run. I don't know who it was, but I saw him get one strikeout in that
Well,
inning.
that guy's never going to hear the end of it.
Oh.
2-1 pitch, low and away. 3 balls and a strike with Wilton Veras on deck. Cubs have already given up 5 runs today with Kevin Tapani on the mound in Philadelphia. They're trailing the Phillies 5-1 in the 3rd inning. Now in the basement of the National League Central. Strike 2, a full count. Maloney likely to be running with 1 out. The payoff pitch upcoming to Varitek.
You don't see this very often. Jason Varitek running a count of 3-2.
I imagine it makes sense on a day like today, Jerry. Try to make the starter throw a lot of pitches. It's going to be tough for either pitcher to go deep into the ball game under these conditions. Like Soraka did yesterday, but with a big lead. Maloney runs. Varitek hits it in the air in left center. Singleton over for the 2nd out. Maloney back to first.
These are the kind of days, Sean, as a player, if the game doesn't move along at a good pace, players tend to lose concentration. It's hot, you know, out there, and when a guy's taking a long time to throw the ball, or there are long innings where you're out defensively for a long period of time, you tend to lose your concentration, and that's when you make mental errors and physical errors.
What were you talking about? Wilton Veras, the batter, 2 for 10 as a major leaguer. He took strike 1. It almost got away from Fordyce. Maloney at first, 2 outs, no score. Top of the 2nd. And Lou's back to first. He has not attempted a stolen base in his brief stints with the Red Sox this year. Strike 2. The Yankees already lead Baltimore today 3-0. They're in the top of the 3rd at Yankee Stadium. Baltimore has lost 10 in a row. Yankees have Roger Clemens on the mound today against Juan Guzman. The 0-2 pitch. Slapped up the middle past Navarro. Bobbled by Durham, and Maloney safe. Durham did a juggling act all the way to the bag and then passed it. Never did have it firmly in his grasp, and the Red Sox catch a break as Durham makes the first error of the ball game.
Yeah, he wanted to make the play on the run, go tag second base to get the force play to end the inning, but you'll see here he gets that bad hop up on the heel of the glove and never did have control of the baseball. See if the Red Sox can make that mistake hurt here with 2 outs and now a man in scoring position.
9th error made by Durham. Chicago, the worst fielding team in the league. Here's Trot Nixon back in the starting lineup today. Not starting the first 2 games of this series against the lefties. 1 strike on Nixon, hitting .243. But he has played lately. He's done well. 4 for his last 10. Chops that up the middle. Stopped by Durham. That saved a run. Maloney a wide turnaround 3rd, and he had to dive back. Well, Durham just atoned for that error with a terrific diving backhand stop. If that ball got through to the outfield, Maloney was going to score the first run of the game.
That's how you train as an infielder. That man at second base, get that uniform dirty, dive for everything. And here Durham will dive, keep the ball out of center field, and save his team a run. So he allowed the inning to continue with that error, but he just saved the run by making that fine diving play.
The bases are loaded with 2 outs in the Boston 2nd in a scoreless game. Nixon deprived of an RBI. That error also means extra pitches, more wear and tear on this hot day for the pitcher Navarro. Lewis fouls one off the end of the bat out of play to the right. Barron fly to deep left, leading off the ball game last inning. No runs, 3 hits for Boston. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for Chicago. The 0-1 from Navarro. Chopped down the 3rd base line. Wilson on the move. Throws him out. And the error does not hurt the White Sox. After an inning and a half, no score, you're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
If you want someone to stand behind the floor that you're going to walk on, the people at Hammond Lumber Company cheerfully volunteer. Hammond offers a complete line of every kind of popular flooring with dozens of brands and styles to choose from, plus free estimating and optional installation that's thoroughly professional and thoroughly guaranteed. So when you're ready to walk on a brand new floor, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
The confidence of Control Track 4-wheel drive, the versatility to haul anything and go anywhere, and all the style you'd expect from the best-selling sport utility in America, Ford Explorer. And during the final days of truck season, get an Explorer with no down payment, no security deposit, and just $389 a month. Powerful V6, automatic, air, a CD player, and more. $389 a month. Zero down, zero security deposit. Confidence, versatility, and style. That's Ford Explorer. Truck season ends July 5th, only at your New England Ford dealer.
It was a time of great trial for our state, when reliable information was critical. Associated Press judges said no one did it better than Channel 5 News. The best pictures, the best sound, best with critical information.
Emergency crews are working just as fast as they possibly can.
Channel 5 News, the best continuing coverage in Maine. When news happens in your city or town, you'll see it on Channel 5 News.
Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy back in Chicago. No score after an inning and a half. Well, did you go watch the fireworks last night?
No. There was just too many people down there for me.
It's not the same. When you have the best fireworks, the best 4th of July celebration in your own hometown, it just, to me, it makes you be more homesick when you go out in these other cities that put on the fraudulent fireworks bit.
I watched the highlights on the 10 o'clock news here.
Yes.
And
they go to bed early.
Yeah, they look very nice, but what a crowd they had down at Grant Park. Just it was almost like the Bulls won another championship.
Well, we know that didn't happen. Carlos Lee, the leadoff hitter against Bret Saberhagen in the second. He hits a ground ball to second. Offerman threw a sinker to Stanley, who made the play. So far, Saberhagen's needed just 7 pitches to retire 4 batters, and he'll appreciate the economy of effort on a day like today. Ordonez out. Here's Carlos Lee, the batter. Hitting .299, 3 homers, 31 runs batted in. He had a great day yesterday. Doubled twice, drove in 4 runs, matching his career high for runs batted in a game. Only 7 for his last 17. A 1-strike pitch to him, fastball, fouled out a play to the right. Were those cows all over downtown when you were here last year? I don't think I made a trip to Chicago last year. They have these cows. What are they made out of?
I don't know. It almost looks like fiberglass. Yeah. But they're all over the city, and they had one in front of one of the radio stations dressed up as Harry Carey. They had the Harry Carey glasses on them. But I don't get it. I mean, what is it for?
Apparently it's just another tourist attraction, something for people to come downtown and look at as they shop. And I thought it maybe had something to do with Mrs. O'Leary's cow or the bulls, but it's really a tourist attraction.
Yeah, it's amazing how many folks were just walking the streets and having pictures taken by these cows.
I'm tired of stepping around the fiberglass cow droppings, if you really want to know the truth. They took the realism a little bit too far. The 1-2 to Lee. Hit on the ground to short. Merlone staggered for a moment. Threw him out. Well, for a second there, it looked like he was dodging a left hook. But he stayed on his feet. And Lee is retired.
It looked like when he went to go plant to make that throw to first base, he just slid. Right there, that right foot came from under him, but still able to have time and throw to first base to get Carlos Lee.
What's a fancy camera we have down there today? Is that super slow-mo or one of those? That's cow cam, we're told.
I'll say one thing, though. The people do, they really respond to going downtown to this 4th of July celebration. Downtown is absolutely packed.
Yes.
A lot of families. A lot of families in the hotel.
Oh, running up and down the halls,
Yes,
were they?
Yeah. Banging on doors.
Paul Konerko, the batter, the first baseman. The DH Friday night, went 1 for 3 in that game.
I think part of my room on this trip, Sean, was in an elevator.
Yes. Did you actually push the buttons for folks as they went by?
I thought I felt myself going up and down.
Uh-oh, that might land in your hotel room. That ball is going to be way out of here, halfway up to the left field bleachers. A home run for Paul Konerko and a 1-0 Chicago lead.
Now that's only the 3rd home run that Saberhagen has allowed this season. Konerko just crushed this ball. It was a hanging breaking ball. A pitch that really hasn't come back all the way yet for Saberhagen since his last turn on the Sable list. It just stays right up about belt high, and he absolutely will lose this thing in a hurry. And that's one of those Frank Thomas shots right there.
Oh, yeah. He can hit him up onto that concourse behind the left field bleachers. In front of the concession stand. Homer number 9 for Konerko. He's the only White Sox base runner at this point. Brooke Fordyce the batter. Ball 1 the count. Fordyce takes one up and in. 2-0. He's hitting .315. 4 homers, 22 runs batted in for Fordyce, who had the day off yesterday as his backup Mark Johnson got the start. Out of play to the right. 2-1. Ball 3. If Fordyce reaches, Craig Wilson would hit next. Swing and a miss. And a pitch that might have been high, and ball 4. But Fordyce let it pass by. Now the payoff pitch from Saberhagen. Foul tipped into the mid of Varitek for strike 3. That ends the inning. It's the first strikeout for Saberhagen, but the White Sox are first on the board on this holiday. Fireworks provided by Paul Konerko. 1-0 Chicago.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? With everyday low fares on Southwest Airlines, flying to BWI is your best route to the capital.
You are now free to move about the country.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Ford Country. New England is Ford Country. Hard-working people who expect a lot from their trucks. That's why during truck season, your New England Ford dealer gives you big savings on the only trucks built Ford tough. Like the big Ford F-150 with 4x4 power, air, automatic, a super cab, and just $329 a month. That's the best-selling truck on the planet for only $329 a month. We're saluting the hard-working American spirit with great deals during truck season at your New England Ford dealer.
Boston Red Sox baseball is being brought to you in part by your New England Ford dealer. Stop by your New England Ford dealer for savings on great new Ford cars and trucks.
mentioned it's nice and warm here in Chicago. That's not a bad way to enjoy the hot day here in Chicagoland. Well, it's summer officially here, and it sure is in Chicago. The Boston Red Sox are fighting for tops in the division. Friendly Fenway Park is your source for baseball excitement. Tickets can be purchased in the Red Sox ticket office or by calling 617-4824-SOX for 24-hour touch-tone ticketing.
Jamie Navarro pitching with the lead. He got out of a bases-loaded 2-out jam last inning. He's given up 3 hits. The White Sox lead 1-0 on a home run by Paul Konerko. Navarro will face Jose Offerman, Brian Daubach, and Mike Stanley. First 15,000 fans in here today got a 1959 mug commemorating the White Sox American League Championship. Kind of an old mug, though. You would think they would want a new one.
Are there 15,000 here?
That's what I'm wondering. They may have extras. We could get one. Imagine how many people have used those mugs over the last 40 years. I don't think we'd want one. Offerman bunted foul. He fly to left his first time up. There aren't a lot of people here, and people who are here are smart because a lot of them are sitting in the seats there in the shade right up under the second level. A lot of empty seats in the lower boxes if you wanted to sit up close today. The seats in the shade are pretty well jammed. To left again for Offerman. Same result, caught by Carlos Lee. 1 out here in the third. Look at that. Those last 10 rows or so, the lower level, they're jammed. People are smart. They want to be in the shade. I don't know if we've mentioned that it's hot here today, but we haven't. It is. Brian Daubach singled into right his first time up. I hope that fan over there is keeping you cool because it sounds like a 747. That guy is in the spirit. A ball high. 1-2. The amount of noise that your fan is making, it should be pumping out more of a breeze than it seems to be.
Yeah, it's a tired fan, that's for sure.
Yes.
But it is some air moving around.
It was here in '59 when they won the championship. Pulled foul, the end of the Red Sox dugout. Check swing, foul ball. Well, you know it's hot when Wendell Kim doesn't even move. He's usually constant motion. Way outside. Evening the count at 2-2. Lou Merlone trying to keep cool. Not an easy task. Off-speed pitch was low. Because if we haven't mentioned it yet, it is hot.
Stop talking about it. You're making me hot.
Half swing and a ground ball down to third. Wilson throws him out. Looked like Brian trying to protect the plate. Swung at ball 4. 2 outs here in the third. Chicago leads 1-0 on a Paul Konerko home run. That's another way to keep cool. Kind of a pain, though, to hold the umbrella the whole game. If you're like Jerry, you have a designated umbrella holder. Mike Stanley with 2 outs. Takes a strike. Mike grounded to third to end the first inning. Joe Gigliotti from the Boston Herald today had one of those flag shirts.
Did he really?
Yes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Patriotic cameraman. Breaking ball just missed. Do you think it helped Jamie with the umpires after that outburst he had a few weeks ago?
I can't imagine where it would.
Usually it doesn't.
Seems to be an awful stretch when you have the kind of numbers he's had over the last couple of years to even mention something like that.
Yeah. Take care of your own part first, and then maybe we'll lend some credence to your complaints. Personally, we don't like people who complain about the umpiring. Deep drive to left by Stanley. And that one is off the wall, and it bounces a long way away from Lee, who ran all the way to the wall trying to catch it. Stanley into second with a double. The Red Sox 4th hit, their first extra base hit.
And 2 hits in the ball game yesterday for Stanley. You mentioned, Sean, one of the bright spots in the Red Sox offense. Picks up the double here. Hardline drive quickly over the head of Carlos Lee. Lee got a pretty good jump on the ball, but just could not catch up to it as he'll hit off that left field wall, and Stanley gets in with a 2-out double. Pretty good speed in this outfield with Carlos Lee, Chris Singleton.
$18 doubles for Stanley. He's the tying run at second for Troy O'Leary. Takes a ball down and in. O'Leary checked his swing and grounded to third in the 2nd inning. This would be a great time to extend his hitting streak to 12 games. Outside, an off-speed offering from Jamie Navarro.
With first base open and the right-hander Maloney on deck, he may be very careful here with Troy O'Leary. Breaking ball on the 2-0 count.
And it was high. Troy hot in just about every category.
And should have the green light here if something he likes.
He's the Red Sox team leader in homers with 16, and he drives one to deep right. The 3-0 green light pays off. Home run, and the Red Sox lead 2-1.
Tell you what, that doesn't make much sense at all from Navarro's point of view, because he's basically pitching around O'Leary. The count runs to 3-0. You know he's going to have the green light with a right-hander on deck. He throws him a fastball right down the heart of the plate, and O'Leary hits number 17 on the season. Well, it looks like the ball is jumping here today.
That wasn't very smart at all. And the batter is Lou Merlone. He was singled to center his first time up. Red Sox lead 2-1. They're out hitting Chicago 5-1. And Merlone pops one up in foul ground between home and first. Panerco makes the catch. And that ends the inning with a 2-out double by Stanley and the home run by O'Leary. And the Red Sox lead 2-1 in the 3rd in Chicago.
Look, I say we just go over there.
No, let's just play it cool.
Will you come on? They're looking at us.
Really?
Yeah. Huh?
Okay, let's go over there.
But I get the one with the Michelob Light.
How come I always get the ugly one?
There's ordinary beer. Then there's the smooth, refreshing taste of Michelob Light. Beer or Michelob?
Are you two sisters?
Need a battery? Now at Pep Boys, get a ProStart 75-month battery from $44.99. ProStart name brand quality batteries by Exide from $44.99. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Just announced, now some of the most trusted cars in America are even more affordable. Like Ford Taurus with less than 1% financing and $1,000 cash back. With the government's highest safety rating, 5 stars. Plus less than 1% financing and $1,000 cash back. Or get a Ford Escort with less than 1% financing and $750 cash back. Reliable, safe, plus less than 1% financing and $750 cash back. Ford Taurus and Escort, built to last. See your New England Ford dealer today.
Back to Comiskey Park, where the Red Sox have taken a 2-1 lead on the Troy O'Leary home run. Well, summer's officially here. There's no better way to celebrate the season than to come out to friendly Fenway. The best way to get tickets to see the Boston Red Sox is to call 617-482-4SOX. This touchstone system is available 24 hours a day. Call 617-482-4SOX today. See Fordyce set up outside. He wanted a fastball away. Instead, right over the heart of the plate, and Troy O'Leary quickly gives the Red Sox the 2-1 lead.
I mean, that just defies all logic. Why, when Navarro had pitched so carefully to O'Leary, a hot hitter, left-handed hitter, would you just throw one right down the middle on 3-0? Perhaps he wasn't trying to do that, but really shouldn't be anywhere close to doing that under the circumstances.
Why even throw a fastball 3-0? He threw the breaking ball on the 2-0 count.
Craig Wilson, the leadoff batter against Bret Saberhagen. He took a ball low. Wilson hitting .263, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. He's the number 8 hitter. Mike Caruso on deck. Saberhagen has now thrown 2 in this at bat that looked pretty good and didn't get the call on either pitch. Wilson was a part of their big win yesterday. He went 2 for 4, drove in 2 runs after having his 5-game hitting streak snapped on Friday night. He's starting his 8th straight game. He's supplanted Greg Norton at third base. And he has another hit. A base hit to left, well struck through the left side of the infield.
Like the changeup again by Saberhagen on the 2-1 count. Again, it stayed up in the strike zone, and it becomes a pretty good pitch to hit. Wilson with the hard line drive right by Veras at third base.
Wilson 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts this year. He's up with Mike Caruso up there. Caruso a frequent bunter. Veras in tight at third, and he tries to chop it over the head of Veras. Nice play by Wilton to Offerman, and that's the only out they'll get. Caruso, a good bat handler, saw Veras in very tight, tried to slap it past him or chop it over his head, but Veras made the leaping play and got the lead man.
Fortunately for Veras, it's one big high hop just over his head. He's able to make the leap and the play and get the force out at second base. Nice play by the Red Sox third baseman. And with him doing that, you would expect the runner to be off at first base, almost a hit and run play, but the runner was not going, and it became a force out at second.
1 out. Caruso, the runner now at first. More of a threat to run than Wilson, so Saberhagen checks in on him. 6 stolen bases for Caruso, but he's also been thrown out 6 times.
They finally put him in the number 9 spot in the batting order after trying him lead off second. He just doesn't walk enough to hit up there, or not very patient. And they had success with Ozzie Guillen here hitting 9th, and that's what they're trying to do now at Caruso. Same type of hitter.
Saberhagen throws another close one and doesn't get the call. And Ray Durham looked at ball 1. Durham fly to right in the first. Little shallow fly ball that was handled by Trot Nixon. Caruso was all in favor of the move down to the number 9 spot. Let's take a little pressure off him. Veras again in close with Durham, the batter. The Yankees lead over Baltimore now 3-1. The Orioles have a run against Roger Clemens. They're in the top of the 4th in New York. Caruso runs. The pitch is strike. The throw. Got him. John Hirschbeck making sure that Merlone held on to the ball. So Caruso's thrown out for the 7th time this year. 2 outs and the base is now empty.
Yeah, the tag you're going to see is going to be high, but it's going to be in time before Caruso gets to the bag. There it is, right on the shoulder. He bobbled the ball just a bit, but then was able to squeeze it. That's what the umpire, Hirschbeck, was waiting for, then made the out call. Veritek, 27% of the runners now he's thrown out.
Seems better than that, doesn't it? Bless you. I'll take that as a yes. A sneeze, a yes, or a no?
Yes, it does seem like more than that.
The 1-2 pitch, a smash past first. Stanley went for the dive with the backhand, but couldn't get it. So Durham has his 5th hit of the series, and he's a threat to run with 2 outs here in the 3rd. The Red Sox lead 2-1.
Again, it's the curveball. That's the one pitch that I think Saberhagen, since coming off the DL, has not had real good control with. Not that breaking ball that he's been able to keep down in the zone. And again, the ball hit hard quickly by Stanley for the base hit. So we'll see if Durham gives second base a try here with 2 outs.
Already with 3 stolen bases in the series. Chris Singleton, the batter. He fly to deep right, sent Trot Nixon racing back to the warning track back in the 1st inning. Make a nice catch. "14 steals for Durham, 9 times caught. Only Juan Encarnacion of Detroit has been thrown out more often trying to steal. He's been nailed 10 times. Singleton, who had 3 hits yesterday, 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored, looked at ball 1. At 3 for 5, extended his hitting streak to 6 games. Brian Little, the first base coach, off the bag chatting with Durham.
Durham not quite sure about the signs that were given to him, and of course you always make sure you check with the first base coach, because he's also following those signs coming from third base.
Brian Little, the younger brother of Red Sox bench coach Brady Little. Off-speed pitch dropped in for a strike. 1-1 on Singleton. He's been hot for a while, not just this 6-game hitting streak, but over the last 35 games, Singleton is at .359. Durham is not running. Singleton sends it to first. A tricky hop, but Stanley made the play, and that ends the inning. After 3 on Independence Day in Chicago, the Red Sox 2 and the White Sox 1.
The confidence of Control Track 4-wheel drive, the versatility to haul anything and go anywhere, and all the style you'd expect from the best-selling sport utility in America, Ford Explorer. And during the final days of truck season, get an Explorer with no down payment, no security deposit, and just $389 a month. Powerful V6, automatic, air, a CD player, and more. $389 a month. 0 down, 0 security deposit. Confidence, versatility, and style. That's Ford Explorer. Truck season ends July 5th, only at your New England Ford dealer.
Now, for the latest on traffic and Fenway Park, we send it to the Prince of Transportation and the Duke of the Diamond.
Thanks, Bob. Dan Duquette here. And Bob Prince here. We're teaming up to cheer on all Red Sox and Major League Baseball fans who use our great public transportation system.
All-Star Weekend, the 1999 John Hancock All-Star Fan Fest, will bring more than the usual traffic to Fenway and the Heinz Convention Center this summer.
Why not ride the rails to your favorite baseball events? No parking, no tolls, no fuss, and getting back home?
You're out of there.
Borla wine of Italy. Open up.
4th of July from Comiskey Park in Chicago. Fireworks from both teams. Paul Konerko hit a homer to give Chicago the lead, but then in the third inning with Mike Stanley aboard, Troy O'Leary got a 3-0 fastball right down the middle, and he did not miss it. His team leading 17th home run of the season, extending his hitting streak to 12 games. In this battle of long balls, the Red Sox lead 2-1. Neither Saberhagen nor Navarro has walked the man. Saberhagen is the only strikeout. It's Navarro on the mound at the moment, getting ready to face the bottom third of the Red Sox batting order. While he warms up, and that shouldn't take long. As if we haven't mentioned it, it's hot here today. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
You're watching Red Sox baseball on Eastern and Central Maine's local sports leader. WAPI-TV, Channel 5, Bangor.
Today's holiday telecast produced by Patrick Cavanaugh, directed by Bob Whitelaw, Greg Petronzio on the graphics, all of them working in the air-conditioned truck. In fact, which they remind us of frequently. At least the sun is out of our booth now when we first get here for the first few hours.
It was only about 150 degrees when we got in here this morning.
Oh, my goodness. Jason Varitek trying to hit one into the right field corner. That's a fair ball. And still in play. And Jason has a double on the first pitch of the fourth. The ball just fair down the right field line. And the Red Sox have a man in scoring position. 6 hits already for Boston.
I'd have to say the two guys on the Red Sox team that swing the most on the first pitch would be obviously Nomar Garciaparra and also Jason Varitek. Right on the foul line, it looked like, and bounced around for a while before Ordonez could trace it down. That should have been a ground rule double, right?
It looked like it went up over the wall. And
bounced
didn't
up,
matter.
Bounced up on the railing.
Wilton Veras took a ball low and away. He reached on an error by the second baseman Durham in the second. Did not prove costly to Chicago. The 1-0 to Veras. Fouled off the end of the bat. He chased ball 2. Not imagine, Jerry, if the word gets around on Veras that he's that much of a free swinger, he's not going to see many strikes. Why would you throw him a strike when he swings at balls like that?
He's going to see a lot of pitches out of the zone, especially in the first couple of pitches of an at-bat.
Up the middle, tough play for Durham. He bare hands and throws in time. Nice play by the Chicago second baseman. Varitek on to third with 1 out.
And good job by Wilton Veras. Not the easiest pitch there to move to the opposite way to advance that base runner. See the ball down. He just chops at it, bounces it right over the pitcher's head, and boy, nice play here by Durham going to the bare hand. Always a dangerous play for an infielder, but that's the only way he could make it. So Veras gets his job done, and a fine defensive play by Durham.
In Chicago, Jerry Manuel is going to bring the infield in. Trot Nixon up there. 2-1 Boston. Another man at third with 1 out. Nixon takes a strike over the inner third. We'll check that. It's a ball. I thought Rocky Rowe was turning to call it a strike, but he was just turning. An infield single for Nixon. A nice play by Durham deprived him of an RBI when he made a diving stop of the ball. Trot hit up the middle and kept it in the infield. Jamie Navarro has given up 6 hits. Nixon swats one out of play. Into the upper deck. Whoa, and it caromed out. It's an easy souvenir for the folks up there in the upper deck today, especially on the third base side. They must just want to sit up there because there are plenty of good seats available down below. Actually, they're probably friends and relatives of Jerry Trupiano. I think that one guy up there in the back and third is in those of Jerry's seats. Well, they're in the shade. Ball 4 down and in. First walk given up by Navarro. Pitched carefully to the left-handed swinging Nixon. The only strike of that at bat was a ball out of the zone that Trot chased and fouled off.
Well, the White Sox now will move back to its double play depth with the 1 out and Lewis at the plate. It'll be a bad time if you get the right count in this at bat to send Nixon play a little hit and run with the first and third situation. Try to stay away from the inning-ending double play. Navarro will get a lot of ground ball outs when that sinker is working correctly for him, and for that reason alone, you try to start some base runners against him.
Darren Lewis, the hitter. First and third, 1 out. Lewis takes strike 1 right down the middle. Darren fly to deep left in the first, grounded to third in the second. Veritek, the runner at third. Nixon at first. Held by Konerko. Donia shallow and right. The outfield around toward right. Lewis tried to pull it. Chopped it foul at the plate. Got a piece of 4 dice the catcher. 0-2. The 0-2 from Navarro, outside and low. Lewis sitting just 2-11 with men in scoring position, but he is 5 for his last 9. Got a piece of it. That'll get a run in. Caruso has to go to first, and he just does get the hustling Lewis. And Darren picks up an RBI with the bouncer on the left side, and the Red Sox lead 3-1 as Veritek came in from third and Nixon moved to second.
And take him any way you can get him, and the ball's on the ground, but certainly not in a type of ground ball you're going to get a double play on. A nice play by Caruso just to get the 1 out. Very protective swing there by Lewis with 2 strikes. It was the breaking ball. Make contact. He'll get the run home. Red Sox now have the 3-1 lead. Caruso right on target with that throw. He usually makes a lot of throwing errors in the course of a season. He's got 15 errors this season.
Williams came out of the dugout apparently arguing that play at first, but that replay indicated that Bill Welke made the correct call. 19th RBI of the season for Darren Lewis, and Jose Offerman takes the ball inside. He has twice flied to left, 0 for 2. I think without Valentin and Garcia Parra, they're going to need Offerman to pick the offense back up.
Yep. It's been a long struggle. Average down to 294 to start the game.
Now at 292 with the 0 for 2 today. It's even in the count in this at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base hit here would likely score another run with Nixon a decent base runner at second. Up the middle, caught. Soft line drive handled by Caruso. The Red Sox settle for 1 run. They lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th in Chicago. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
At your New England Ford dealer, we're proud of our leadership claims, but the claims we value most come from our customers.
Safety, it's my job. I like seeing kids riding in a Ford Windstar. It's got the government's highest safety rating and a whole list of other features to help keep your kids safe.
Like available all-speed traction control, side airbags, and a reverse sensing system.
I do whatever I can to keep my kids safe. That's why I drive a Windstar.
1,000 cash back or less than 1% financing on Windstar at your New England Ford dealer.
If you've ever done a building project, you know how easy it is to lose time driving back and forth to the store every time you remember something that you forgot before. Well, the people at Hammond Lumber Company think you should leave the driving to them. Hammond will come straight to your job site, give you a free estimate, and help you plan ahead. Then Hammond will deliver any sizable order free, usually within 24 hours. So when you're building or remodeling, let Hammond Lumber do the driving, and don't you move a doggone inch.
Disaster, the results of property owners failing to properly extinguish their open fires. State law requires that you obtain a burning permit before burning brush or debris. Failure to follow the conditions of your permit can result in fines of up to $10,000, as well as criminal charges. Never leave a fire that is not totally extinguished. Please do your part, burn safely, and help us prevent wildfires. For more information, call the Maine Forest Service at the Department of Conservation.
Heading to the bottom of the fourth here in Chicago, the Red Sox lead 3-1. Let's check the American League scoreboard. Kansas City leads Cleveland 5-2 in the sixth. Yesterday, Kansas City blew an 8-0 lead. That's not unusual in Cleveland. Jermaine Dye hit his 15th homer for Kansas City. He's now hit 4 homers in his last 3 games. Tampa Bay 3, Toronto 2. They're in the seventh. The Yankees still lead Baltimore 3-1. Chili Davis has homered. Frank Thomas fouls one away. The rest of the American League scoreboard: Detroit 3, Minnesota 0. Juan Encarnacion, his 9th homer of the year off Brad Radke. Not all 9 of them against Radke, but today's was. Anaheim at Oakland later on. Seattle is at Texas. You know, they talk about having to do well in your division to be a contending team. Baltimore's 4-22.
That's unbelievable.
Against the American League East. Thomas takes the ball. 1-1.
Certainly has to be the biggest surprise and biggest disappointment in all of baseball this year, the Baltimore Orioles.
$78 million doesn't go as far as it used to. Fly ball, very shallow right center, and it's Nixon to make the catch. Apparently the buzz from some of the scouts who were here this weekend is that something big is about to happen in Baltimore. It could be a major shakeup. Maybe the GM, Frank Wren, who just got there in the offseason, could be gone. Maybe Ray Miller, maybe both. That's what the scuttlebutt among the scouts is.
Wonder who's in line after Ray Miller to take over that job, if that does happen.
I think they should bring back Earl Weaver. Maglio Ordonez grounded to second his first time up. Lines that one to left. O'Leary playing very deep, still able to make the catch. 2 quick outs for Saberhagen here in the fourth.
I would like to see Earl Weaver and Albert Bell together on the same ball club. That might be interesting.
See, Albert got booed when they played their exhibition game this week in Rochester. He was the one who had started the petition among the players to not play the exhibition game against their AAA team in Rochester, New York. And folks up there let him hear about it when he got up there.
I'm surprised he even went. I thought he'd just take the fine and stay home.
Perhaps he should have. Carlos Lee, the batter, he grounded to short. Having been a minor league broadcaster, and you played in the minors, you know how important those games are to the minor league franchises, the fans in that city. Rochester has been an Orioles farm team for a very long time, and a great minor league town, not only in baseball but also in hockey. And they didn't appreciate it, and I can't say that I blame them. Cal Ripken even said he remembered when he was there how much he looked forward to that game. The Orioles would come down to Rochester.
That's true. Anytime you're a minor league player and you have not yet had the taste of the major league level, you know, to watch the big leaguers come down and you get a chance to play against them, that's quite a thrill.
1-2 the count on Carlos Lee. He fights one off.
Major league players complain about the schedule that they have when they have to play these games, but the minor league schedule is much tougher than the major league schedule. They have about no days off at all.
No, and it's a lot of bus rides still. Lee broke his bat.
I think one of the things that the Orioles were upset about, the fact they had that series with the Cubans. They had a game down there in spring training, which was fine, but then they had one scheduled during the regular season, which I thought was kind of a lousy thing to do.
Yes.
And then you add in the, the minor league trip, and that's 2 off days that they were scheduled to have that they don't have. So
I think to ask the fans to be sympathetic for them on that subject is asking a lot.
No, you're not going to get much sympathy, no. But I didn't like that Cuban game coming during the season.
A lot of people didn't like it at all for political reasons, which we could spend the rest of the afternoon discussing and won't. Bet it's hotter here today than it is in Cuba. Finally, the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Saberhagen with a little extra look into Carlos Lee. I don't think he appreciated the little gamesmanship around the batter's box, but that's the best way to respond. 2 strikeouts for Saberhagen, and the Red Sox lead 3-1 after 4.
Here we are, Shorty. Let's get down to dirty work. You know, your grandma doesn't think we can do this, but what does she know? What's this? You don't let them put that on you, do you? Is that the way that goes? Where are those pins?
Southwest Airlines low senior fares give people 65 and over the freedom to go, see, and in some cases do things they've never done before.
For Pete's sakes.
To the Millennium.
Was it a steak? No, the champagne's not Corbel.
Corbel, official champagne of the Millennium Celebration.
At your New England Ford dealer, we're proud of our leadership claims, but the claims we value most come from our customers.
Safety, it's my job. I like seeing kids riding in a Ford Windstar. It's got the government's highest safety rating and a whole list of other features to help keep your kids safe.
Like available all-speed traction control, side airbags, and a reverse sensing system.
I do whatever I can to keep my kids safe. That's why I drive a Windstar.
1,000 cash back or less than 1% financing on Windstar at your New England Ford dealer.
Boston Red Sox baseball is being brought to you in part by your New England Ford dealer. Stop by your New England Ford dealer for savings on great new Ford cars and trucks. Well, you can take the train to Comiskey Park.
Then it's warm on that train today, too.
Oh, boy, smoking. It'll be hot in Tampa, too. St. Petersburg. It's indoors for the ball games at least. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 7 o'clock on NESN. Our next telecast Thursday night over most of these stations at 7 o'clock, the series finale between the Red Sox and the Devil Rays. Regular season finale as well. They could meet in the playoffs. And then it's on to Atlanta. We're with you Friday and Sunday. Turner Field. That'll be hot there, too. Brian Daubach takes ball 1 outside from Jamie Navarro as we go to the 5th. Brian single to right in the 1st, grounded to 3rd in the 3rd. Red Sox have scored in each of the last 2 innings. Had at least 1 hit in every inning. Daubach has to count his favor 2-0. Pitching matchups for that series in St. Petersburg. Tomorrow night it'll be Mark Portugal against Brian Ricard. Tuesday night, Jin-Ho Cho and Wilson Alvarez. A rematch of Thursday's game at Fenway. Wednesday, Pedro Martinez and Ryan Roop. And Thursday, Brian Rose and Bobby Witt. Daubach walks to open the inning.
I believe that's going to be the 4th time that Portugal has faced Tampa Bay this season.
Navarro has walked 2, the lead man on for the Red Sox, and here's Mike Stanley, who's 1 for 2. He doubled with 2 outs in the 3rd, kept the inning alive, and scored on the home run by Troy O'Leary. O'Leary's on deck. 3-1 Red Sox. The hit 6-3 for Boston. 1 error in the game made by Chicago. Strike 1 on Stanley. Navarro up to 75 pitches. That one's a ball. 92 miles per hour, 1-1. To center field, a base hit. Daubach will stop at second. Singleton fielded it cleanly, so Stanley's 2 for 3. And the Red Sox have the makings of something good here in the 5th inning.
That's hitting a pretty good pitch, too, for Stanley. That was a slider down and away. And Stanley's still able to make the contact and hit the line drive to center field for the base hit. This location of this pitch here by Jamie Navarro, not a bad pitch at all. Stanley with that slight uppercut swing will drop it in the center for the hit.
Now Troy O'Leary, red hot 12-game hitting streak after his long home run to right on a 3-0 fastball in his last at bat. 1 for 2 today, O'Leary. Strike one.
O'Leary getting close to getting in the top 10 in RBI. He's got 57 now, and the 10th spot has 59. That's David Justice of Cleveland.
Who was ahead apparently of Juan Gonzalez in the All-Star ballot. You see where Juan says if he's not a starter, he's not going to go. Sean Lowe in the bullpen.
Cleveland's done a heck of a job of filling up their ballots for their hometown favorites in that big ballpark.
Like voting here in Chicago, they voted early and often. Yeah, they stuff the ballot box, but of course they have sellout crowds every night, and they really, over the PA system, beat it into the heads of those fans to vote for the Indians. Up the middle, Caruso flipped to Durham onto first, a double play. 6-4-3, 2 big outs for the White Sox. On the play, Daubach went to third.
A nice double play turn here by Caruso and Durham. A changeup, a high changeup. Slapped toward Caruso, gives a nice flip to Durham. A bit of an off-balance throw, a sidearm toss to first base, but in time to get O'Leary. Caruso's got some range out there, and he's certainly got some ability, but he's got to get a little bit more consistent to become a top flight shortstop in the American League. Too many errors the first 2 years.
Lou Merlone took ball 1 low and away. Lou singled to center in the second, popped out to Konerko in foul ground in the third. We look at strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Apparently Juan Gonzalez was upset because Joe Torre bypassed him a couple of years ago, chose a couple of Yankees instead of him.
Well, he's one guy that's got to be in the All-Star game. I mean, he's one of the players people want to see.
He's third in the league in home runs right now, third in runs batted in. But you know, he wouldn't be the first one who was done an injustice in the voting, and I'm not sure if he's not selected that's that great an injustice if he's not in the starting lineup. But be a big boy, come as a reserve, and play in the game. And get your all-star bonus. Hit on the ground on the right side. Nobody covering first. It doesn't matter as Durham imitated Mia Hamm, and Brian Daubach scored to make it 4-1.
Well, even had Durham made this play clean, he had nobody to throw to because Navarro was late getting over to first base. There he starts to go, but not at full speed. He should be right now waiting at first base for that throw, but that was not the case. This would probably go as an error, I would think, on Durham. I mean, he got to the ball, and he could have had an out at first base.
Well, it's tough to figure the official scoring here. There hasn't been a ruling made on that play yet, but yesterday the Red Sox made about 6 plays that looked like they could have been errors, and everything was a hit. You said, though, even if Durham picks that up, he's not going to be able to make a play. Nobody to throw to.
Yeah, they give him a hit. They gave Maloney a hit on that, so a base hit, an RBI.
Lose 2 for 3, and the run batted in for Maloney is 8. Now he's at first with 1 run in.
4-1 Red Sox. And Jason Varitek, who doubled leading off last inning and scored as the batter. He's 1 for 2. And ahead in this count, 2 balls and no strikes. Varitek down to first. Big hop for Konerko made the play to end the inning. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk for the Red Sox. And halfway through the ball game, it's the Red Sox 4 and Chicago 1.
Thanks. Here's to you, and here's to me. The best of friends will always be. But should we ever disagree? Heck with you, and here's to me.
Brewing with imported hops and caramel malts makes it a taste worth trying. But this brew is from O'Doul's, and that makes it a taste worth toasting. O'Doul's Amber Non-Alcohol Brew. Cheers.
Major League Baseball introduces the Sports Specialties All-Star Sunday, an exciting doubleheader coming to Fenway Park. George Bret, Kevin Costner, Matt Damon, Jim Rice, and many more compete in the All-Star Celebrity Hitting Challenge. Can a team of baseball legends and Hollywood sluggers conquer the Green Monster? Then it's USA versus the world as the top 50 minor league players showcase their skills in the All-Star Futures game. July 11th is Sports Specialties All-Star Sunday. Gates open at 10 a.m.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. All 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires and protect your tires with a computerized wheel alignment. Cars, trucks, or SUVs now only $44.99.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places and do things you never thought possible. Fly Southwest Airlines.
Well, back at Comiskey, the Red Sox have the 4-1 lead as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Greater Boston Food Bank and the Red Sox are teaming up to fight hunger in eastern Massachusetts. Participate in the 8th annual Red Sox Wise Food Drive by bringing nutritious, non-perishable canned foods to Fenway Park on Saturday, July 17th and Sunday, July 18th. The Red Sox wives will be outside Fenway accepting donations to benefit the food bank. For more information, call 617-427-5200.
Paul Konerko begins the 5th for Chicago. The Red Sox lead 4-1. Konerko provided the White Sox with their only run with a long home run, a hanging breaking ball in the 2nd inning. His 9th home run of the season. He took strike 1. Konerko, Fordyce, and Wilson coming up. Saberhagen's allowed just 3 hits through 4 innings without allowing a walk. One ball and 1 strike now. I mentioned that a few years ago, Saberhagen had more wins than walks in a season. That is a rarity. The Mets in 1994, he had 14 wins, went 14-4, and walked 13 men in 177 in the 3rd innings. That's unbelievable.
That's remarkable.
He has a chance to do that again this year. He has 4 wins coming into this ball game and has walked 6 for the season. Down the first base line, fair ball. Nixon a long way to run to get to that one, and Konerko has his 2nd extra base hit of the ball game, a double to start the 5th inning.
Well, Konerko last time got a curveball, a hit for a home run. This time he gets a fastball from Saberhagen. Actually jammed him just a bit, and he's able to muscle that ball right down that first baseline for the double. Pretty good, 2 pretty good at bats here by Konerko. The home run on the breaking ball, the fastball the other way for the double.
Looks like he's hurting a little bit after just running to second base. It's that hot and humid a day here. You're just tuning in. If you've been with us, you knew that already. Fordyce struck out swinging in the second. And he sends one out of play to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fordyce. Strike 2, says Rocky Roll. Fordyce will be followed by Craig Wilson. Here in the 5th inning, Boston 4, Chicago 1. The Red Sox win 2 out of 3 this weekend without John Valentin all weekend, without Nomar Garcia-Parra for most of the weekend. That would be a terrific way to begin this road trip.
Try to keep pace with the Yankees because they have been playing terrific baseball recently.
And they're leading today 3-1 in the top of the 5th now at Yankee Stadium. New York's won 3 in a row, 9 out of 10. But Saberhagen has really enjoyed his time in Boston. Talking with him Friday night, he said he hopes he finishes his career here. He has 2 more years on his contract plus an option year. He likes the city, lives downtown during the season, likes the ballpark, likes the intense fan interest, even enjoys the media.
That's unusual.
Yes.
For a player to enjoy the media. Saberhagen's been around a long time. He's seen a lot. He played some time in New York, and I'm sure that helped him prepare for some of his stops around baseball.
He said he was very fortunate that he started his career in Kansas City, managed to ease into Major League Baseball in a low-pressure environment. Fly ball to right, Nixon drifting back. Konerko is tagging, Trot the catch. Konerko on the 3rd with 1 out.
Nice job by Fordyce. Even though you're down by 3, he's trying to get himself a base hit, but if you got to make it out, you make it to the other field. You advance that runner to the 3rd base with less than 2 outs. He is fun to have around too. He's pretty loose. Keeps guys been through it. I mean, he's been, you know, to the World Series, he's been to all that stuff, and not too much he hadn't seen in the game of baseball, and he can help younger players. Very receptive to their questions.
Wilson fists one foul straight back. Craig single to left in the 3rd. Red Sox lead 4-1. Jamie Navarro, the pitcher. Looks like a boxer in the corner between rounds. Pass Saberhagen. That'll allow the run to score. If Bret had been able to glove that, Konerko wasn't going to try it. He was frozen, waiting to see if the ball would get past the pitcher. It did. So Wilson is out, but picks up an RBI as Konerko scored to make it 4-2.
Yeah, third base coach will tell that base runner at 3rd to make sure it gets by the pitcher. He's the only place that you would not go. The infield was playing back. Saberhagen probably a little upset with himself that he couldn't make that play. Would have saved him a run. They do get the out, but now it's a 4-2 ball game.
Wilson is his 9th run batted in. Russo tried to bunt. He popped it up, and Stanley caught it, and that ends the inning. 1 run on 1 hit for Chicago in the 5th. After 5 on Independence Day, the Red Sox 4 and Chicago 2.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. Lease a new 99 Chevy Cavalier Coupe for only $199 a month and leave your checkbook at home with zero due at lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration extra. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Eastern Clothing of Watertown's July sale is on now. Save 25% on all spring and summer suits. For great values on men's suits, visit Eastern Clothing of Watertown.
Boston Red Sox baseball from Chicago is brought to you in part by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Back inside Comiskey Park, the Red Sox have the 4-2 lead after 5 innings. Will Red Sox fans bring your company, school, or other group to friendly Fenway by using the group sales ticketing line at 617-262-1915. This is the best way to purchase tickets for your group of 40 people or more. Make sure to take advantage of this line and bring your team out to cheer on the Red Sox. Call Red Sox group sales at 617-262-1915.
Nomar Garcia-Parra managing to smile, sitting along his good buddy Lou Merlone. You know, Nomar would be a lot happier were he able to play. He hopes to be back in the next day or two. Jimmy Williams didn't sound so certain of it. Nomar attended the Women's World Cup soccer match in Foxborough when the Red Sox were home in the last homestand. Loves soccer, credits a lot of his excellent footwork to his upbringing on the soccer fields.
Likes soccer just as much as he likes baseball.
When was the Men's World Cup? Last summer or 2 summers ago?
I have no idea.
He seemed less than interested because remember he was thinking about going over there to watch that to France. Wilton Veras hits a high fly to left. Carlos Lee has it. Veras now 0 for 3, 1 out here in the 6th inning. You know you're a fan when you're going to get on the plane and fly over there and go to France. But that Women's World Cup has been entertaining. I think they play today, don't they? We should mention it because we don't want people to flip over to the other station. It's not on for a while anyway. It's already been a great day for American. Lindsay Davenport won the women's singles.
Saw that match this morning. It was quick.
She beat Steffi Graf, and Pete Sampras in an All-American men's final beat Andre Agassi. Trot Nixon has had an infield single and a walk. Been on base twice, 1 for 1. The 0-1 to him is high from Jamie Navarro.
That's what you ought to get into, Shime. Doing, you know, Wimbledon and things like that. That would be a lot of fun, I would think.
I did the U.S. Open once. I didn't have that much fun.
Is that right?
Well, there's not a lot to do in tennis announcing. You know, you just kind of be quiet during the points. You don't want to talk during the points. And then the analyst talks when the point's over. Explains why he or she missed the backhand down the line. And then that's, you know, you don't even need to give the score really. You hear the umpire give it and the graphics come up on the screen. There's strike 3, backdoor breaking ball. Nixon called out on a pitch that he might have a beef about, and that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Jamie Navarro.
Well, the heat may be getting to Rocky Rowe behind the plate as he tries to rush this game up. That looked like it was well off the outside edge. Even when the catcher Fordyce pulled it back in, it didn't make the corner.
It wasn't a strike, no. But you can't blame Rocky if he'd like to speed this along. Well, that's a little unfair right there. No chance to hit that pitch. 2 quick outs. Navarro looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Darren Lewis, the batter. Red Sox up 4-2 in the 6th inning. 0 for 3 with an RBI. Here's Lewis, picked up an RBI in his last at bat in the fourth with a ground ball to short. The 2-0 pitch inside. That's ball 4 up and in, so Navarro will not have a 1-2-3 inning. Instead, it's the third walk that he has yielded. He's up to 97 pitches. Marty Contreras, the pitching coach, on the phone to the bullpen. As Jose Offerman stands in. He's 0 for 3. Off-speed pitch, check swing and a foul ball. Sean Lowe, who was up earlier, is going to start throwing again.
Lewis, good situation to run in, obviously. If you're thrown out at second, Offerman hits in front of Daubach to start next inning. You steal second, you're in scoring position.
0-2 now on Jose.
And Fordyce, the catcher, has had some difficulties. He's only thrown out about 17% of the runners.
Lewis has 9 steals. He's been thrown out 4 times. The 0-2 pitch way outside.
That's about where that curveball was that they called for a strike on Nixon. Can you get on the lineman and all that when you're doing tennis?
I didn't bother.
No.
Lewis runs. The pitch low and away. The throw from Fordyce. And Lewis has a stolen base. He beat the throw. It was dropped by Caruso, but that didn't matter. So Darren has 10 stolen bases, and the Red Sox have a man in scoring position.
A little surprised they didn't pitch out on the 1-2 count. It was kind of a free pitch for Navarro, and you figure that's the one he's going to be stealing on. And as much trouble as Fordyce has had throwing out base runners, I'm quite surprised they didn't pitch out there.
Now the 2-out walk could really hurt, and it might as the ground ball eats up Durham. And Lewis is around to score. A tough day at second base for Ray Durham. And the Red Sox lead goes back to 3 runs. It's 5-2. Really, in general, Jerry, if the White Sox want to take the next step back toward being a contending team, they're back to being decent now, they need to become a better defensive club.
Yeah, they've been poor all season long. Especially errors like this really kill you, because that gives up another run. It should be out of the inning. You know, we mentioned a few times today, Sean, how hot it is, and it certainly has an effect on the infield dirt. That becomes rock hard out there.
It's an error on Durham, his second of the ball game. No RBI for Offerman. And Navarro really is no one to blame but himself for that 2-out walk that created this situation. But it is an unearned run. Brian Daubach fouled the first one away to the left. Brian is singled, grounded out. He walked and scored in the 5th. Navarro has walked 3. 2 of them have come around to score now. It's 0-2 on Daubach. Offerman, the Red Sox leader in stolen bases with 12. 7 times he's been thrown out. The 0-2 skips past Fordyce. And now Offerman's in scoring position.
A lot of things happening with 2 outs for the Red Sox today. The O'Leary home run with 2 outs. Maloney had a base hit with 2 outs. Red Sox score in this inning with 2 outs because of the error, and now they have another man in scoring position after that wild pitch.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Fouled into the Boston dugout. Well, I think something like 67 out of the last 68 days, Jerry, a team has scored in double digits in runs in Major League Baseball. At least one team, and it's happened again today. Detroit has 10 on the board at Minnesota. Tigers leading the Twins now 10-0 in the 6th inning. In the dirt, good block by Fordyce.
When you look at stats for pitches around baseball, obviously you have your handful of great pitches, and they're going to have ERAs that would be comparable to a couple 20 years ago. But some of these ERAs are just absolutely ridiculous for guys in starting rotations of 6, 7, 8.
Well, in the American League, 8 of the 14 teams have a staff ERA of 5 or higher. That's strike 3. It is dropped by Fordyce, so he has to throw down to first to end the inning. Red Sox get an unearned run. They lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
Hey, for the best deals in town and the only trucks built Ford tough, get over to your New England Ford dealer during the final days of truck season. That's where you'll find a fully loaded Ford Ranger for just $229 a month. A 4x4 Super Cab with air, AM/FM stereo, and a Da Vinci mountain bike and Yakima bike rack. That's right. Not only do you get the best-selling compact pickup in America, Ford Ranger for just $229 a month, but it comes with a rugged Da Vinci mountain bike included in the deal. Hurry! Truck season ends July 5th at your New England Ford dealer.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from in the Army National Guard. If you want to serve your country, if you can spend 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year of intense training to be ready when your community needs you, then call 1-800-GO-GUARD. Become part of a team that will help you achieve everything you can. Join the men and women of the Army National Guard. Call 1-800-GO-GUARD.
In the Army National Guard, you can.
Red Sox have scored in each of their last 4 innings. They lead 5-2 in the National League. Houston and Cincinnati, the 3rd game of their 4-game series. The series tied at 1 win apiece entering today, and Houston leads 4-3 in the 7th. Carl Everett has hit a home run. Sammy Sosa has homered for the Cubs, number 32 for Sammy. The Philadelphia leads 6-2 in the 7th inning. Milwaukee 3, Pittsburgh 2 in the 7th. Dave Nilsson a homer for the Brewers. Swing and a miss by Ray Durham on the first pitch of the 6th. Rest of the National League scoreboard, the only other game underway, San Diego 3, Colorado 0 in the 2nd. Phil Nevin a home run. The rest of the action later on. Durham, nice play by Saberhagen with the backhand on to Stanley for the out. Durham now 1 for 3. In that Pittsburgh game, Jason Kendall left the game on a stretcher with an apparent leg injury. That would be a terrible blow to the Pirates.
Red Sox fortunate. They have some pretty good fielding pitches, and certainly Saberhagen one of them as he makes a nice play to his backhand. Yeah, Kendall, he's a heck of a player.
Great player. Can steal a base. as a catcher. Hits for a high average. Fine defensive player.
Gets hit a lot by pitches.
Hit a lot. Chris Singleton. A count of 0-1. He's lined to right and grounded to first. Trying to bloop one into shallow left, but Maloney's there. 2 quick outs for Saberhagen here in the 6th. He's pitching with a 5-2 lead.
Well, this is the stage of the game, too, where you really appreciate a nice low pitch count inning.
He's only thrown 59 pitches. He has thrown only 59 pitches. Only 14 balls thrown by Saberhagen today. Boy, the teammates appreciate that on a day like today. Appreciate that any day, but particularly on a day like today. Frank Thomas, the batter. 1-0 the count. Frank has popped up to the first baseman and fly to right. Well, the San Diego Padres, their 14-game winning streak ended in style yesterday as they lost both games of a doubleheader in Colorado. They're bouncing back today with that 3-0 lead. Thomas sends it very high behind first base. Stanley has it. Saberhagen has another easy 1-2-3 inning. After 6, 5-2 Red Sox.
Flying to Chicago Midway for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Chicago Midway, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Hey, I'll race you across.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that rope swing's still here. These are the days. Fetzer days. Enjoy the wine.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The Great Summer Drive-In from Chevrolet. You can lease a new 99 four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer for only $299 a month, with only $624 due at lease signing. That's right, just $299 a month. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's Great Summer Drive-In. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Back at Comiskey Park in Chicago, it's a 5-2 Red Sox lead. We've got a little game summary here for you. Saberhagen, the 6 innings, only 4 hits and 2 runs. Navarro, 6 innings, 5 runs allowed on 8 hits. O'Leary with the 2-run home run, that coming on a 3-0 count. Lou Maloney with a 2-out RBI single, and Konerko's done all the damage for the White Sox. A double and a home run in this ball game. And a new pitcher for the Chicago White Sox is Sean Lowe will come on for his first appearance of this series. He's got 49 2/3 innings. That's the most of any reliever on that staff coming out of the bullpen on the White Sox. The record of 3-0 is his last outing on Wednesday against the Royals. A couple of innings in that game, had 3 strikeouts.
Jamie Navarro went 6 innings, allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits, including a homer. He walked 3, 2 of them scored. He struck out 2, both strikeouts last inning. Threw a wild pitch, and it's Mike Stanley to greet Sean Lowe. Stanley, O'Leary, and Maloney due up. Ball 1 low and away. Stanley 2 for 3 against Navarro. He doubled and scored on the O'Leary home run in the 3rd. He singled to center in the 5th. Ball up and away. Jonathan Sean Lowe, 28 years old, from Mesquite, Texas, just outside Dallas. 6'2", 205-pounder. Check swing and a foul ball, 2-1. He's a former first-round pick, chosen in the 1st round by St. Louis with the 15th overall selection of the '92 draft. out of Arizona State University. Spent parts of each of the last 2 seasons with St. Louis, never a full season in the big leagues. 0-5 combined for the Cardinals the last 2 years, and was traded to the White Sox in the offseason for John Ambrose. The 3-1 pitch. Up and in, ball 4. Stanley's on for the 3rd time. The Orioles have cut their deficit to 3-2 in New York. They're now batting in the top of the 7th inning. New York 3, Baltimore 2 in the 7th. Troy O'Leary 1 for 3, the 2-run homer that gave the Red Sox the lead in the 3rd. The Red Sox lead is 5-2, and as Lowe throws another ball, Fordyce heads to the mound. Right now, Lowe is the anti-Saberhagen. He's thrown 6 pitches, 5 of them balls. O'Leary pops it up. That's going to be close over by the dugout. And it's into the dugout. Fordyce went right to the rail, but couldn't make the play.
Landed right in that area where the manager sits. Sorry, Manuel. He's named an all-star coach.
Yes.
Breeze pushing that ball back toward the dugout area.
There it is. Fordyce had a lot to contend with over there. All the objects in the on-deck circle. The bat boy was standing over there. The railing. The fans. No wonder he didn't catch it. Stanley at first with a 1-2 count on O'Leary. Nobody out on the top of the 7th. He tried to check his swing and could not. O'Leary strikes out for the first out of the 7th inning.
O'Leary chasing a high fastball here with the count, 2 strikes on him, and a little bit late as he decided to try to hold up that swing.
Lou Merloni spins out of the way from a high and tight one. 1-0 on Lou. He's had a good day. 2 for 3. A single to center, a pop out, then an infield hit for a run batted in. That was the ball Durham kicked around for a while, but he's not charged with an error in the 5th inning. Line foul. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
You're watching Red Sox baseball on Eastern and Central Maine's local sports leader, WABI-TV, Channel 5, Bangor.
Sean McDonough and Jerry Remy in Chicago. We hope you're having a great holiday weekend. Red Sox trying to make it 2 out of 3. Merloni sends it to right. That's caught. And I don't know what happened to Stanley. If he didn't know how many outs there were, it doesn't look like it because he made no effort to get back to first base. And that's a double play that ends the inning. Well, if he thought that ball was going to drop, I don't think he thought that either because he wasn't running very hard. But Ordonez caught it and threw to first for the double play. And that was an easy end of the inning. Stretch time in Chicago, 5-2 Boston.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
To be the best takes strength, speed, endurance. Now the best way to cure athlete's foot has it all. New Lamisil AT. Strength. Full prescription strength to stop the itching and burning. Speed. These take 4 weeks of treatment to kill the fungus. Only Lamisil AT cures athlete's foot with just 1 week's use. Endurance. A study showed most users were still athlete's foot free 3 whole months later. Get it all in new Lamisil AT. The best way to cure athlete's foot.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. Lease the new 99 Chevy Malibu for only $219 a month and leave your checkbook at home. With zero due-at-lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration extra. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
7th inning stretch in Chicago. And the Red Sox lead 5-2. Friends, we remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, another economical game for Saberhagen pitch-wise again. Largest pitch inning, the second, with 16, and only 7 in the 6th, which will help him here in the later innings. And 62 total. This is very similar to his last outing.
When you throw strikes, you can limit your pitch count, and that's a formula that has worked well for Saberhagen. He went 7 innings in his last outing against the White Sox on Monday, his longest outing of the year. Maglio Ordonez, the leadoff hitter in the Chicago 7th. He's 0 for 2. Chops one on the right. Offerman to Stanley for the out. Saberhagen has retired 7 in a row now.
And he's been able to cool off Maglio Ordonez, who has a 6-game hitting streak on the line in this game today.
First final of the day in the American League. Toronto beat Tampa Bay 6-3 up at Skydome. So the Devil Rays will be on their way back home to host the Red Sox the next 4 nights. Carlos Lee 0 for 2 was grounded to short and struck out. Pop up. Veras and foul ground, 2 outs. Is that 2 pitches and 2 outs?
2 or 3.
We're just talking about low pitch counts for Saberhagen. He's thrown 3 pitches in this inning for 2 outs.
Well, here's the guy that's given him the most trouble on the day. Home run and a double.
Paul Konerko has scored both Chicago runs. His double, the last hit for the White Sox. White Sox have only had 4 base runners. They've had 4 hits. Saberhagen hasn't walked anybody, nor has he hit a batter. Been no errors behind him. And Konerko took a breaking ball for a strike. Homer to left. In the second, a solo shot, and then he doubled down the right field line, leading off the 5th, and scored on a ground out by Craig Wilson. That's all of the White Sox scoring. The Red Sox got 2 runs in the 3rd after Konerko's homer put them behind 1-0. Troy O'Leary hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd with Mike Stanley aboard. In the 4th, Jason Varitek doubled, moved to 3rd on a ground out, scored on the ground out by Darren Lewis. Konerko hits that in the air in center field. Well hit again. But Lewis has room, and Saberhagen has a 1-2-3 inning. 6 pitches in that inning. After 7, the Red Sox 5 and Chicago 2.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. Lease a new 99 Chevy Cavalier Coupe for only $199 a month and leave your checkbook at home with zero due-at-lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration extra. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Now, for the latest on traffic and Fenway Park, we send it to the Prince of Transportation and the Duke of the Diamond.
Thanks, Bob. Dan Duquette here.
And Bob Prince here.
We're teaming up to cheer on all Red Sox and Major League Baseball fans who use our great public transportation system.
All-Star Weekend, the 1999 John Hancock All-Star Fan Fest will bring more than the usual traffic to Fenway and the Heinz Convention Center this summer.
Why not ride the rails to your favorite baseball events? No parking, no tolls, no fuss, and getting back home?
You're out of there.
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Eighth inning in Chicago. The Red Sox lead 5-2. They'll leave right after the ball game for the Sunshine State. They'll head to the Tampa Bay area to St. Petersburg to take on the Devil Rays the next 4 nights. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 7 o'clock on NESN. We are back with you Thursday night at 7 over most of these stations. Then it's on to Atlanta. We'll have the action Friday night at 7:30 and Sunday afternoon at 1. And the Red Sox play host to the All-Star game. The All-Star festivities actually begin on Sunday at Fenway. The Red Sox will be out of town while those events are taking place. Red Sox had to clear out their lockers before they went on this road trip, so the All-Stars could use them.
Even Jimmy Williams had to clear out his office, so Joe Torre will take that over for the All-Star game.
Jason Varitek pulls one foul, leaving the count at 1-1.
So much going on that Joe Cochran had to stay home on this trip. Did not accompany the team here on this long road trip. Had to stay back near Fenway and get things ready.
Joe Cochran is the Red Sox equipment manager. Does a terrific job. Looked like a pretty good golfer, too, from what I saw in the Tim Naring tournament the other day. He played with Bill Maloney and a few others. I think they were 12 under. They did very well in the scramble format. Sean Lowe getting a second inning of relief. It's Varitek to wave at the changeup for the first out of the inning. That's 2 strikeouts for Lowe.
Nice off-speed pitch here by Sean Lowe. Looked like never really a strike. Outside corner, then really down and away from Varitek.
Well, I think Trot Nixon would tell you that's a strike after his experience earlier. Trot's on deck now. He'll hit after Wilton Veras. Veras 0 for 3, reached on an error by Ray Durham back in the second. Red Sox 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Chicago 2 runs, just 4 hits off Bret Saberhagen. They've made 2 errors. One of them costly. Ball 1, low and away to Veras. Baltimore's taken the lead over the Yankees. They've had a big 7th inning, and they now lead New York 7-3. Roger Clemens apparently is not going to get a win today. That's a shame.
Well, that might put a little cramp in the All-Star plans for Joe Torre.
Well, he should not be picked.
I don't think so
With
either.
ERA up around 5.
No.
He should not be on the team.
Well, there was some consideration for it. Maybe this will change their mind.
Veras takes a ball. Today is George Steinbrenner's birthday. He was born on the 4th of July.
That's where all the fireworks come from.
Line to the left, a base hit. Solid single for Veras. First hit given up by the reliever Lowe, the Red Sox 9th hit of the ball game. Man aboard with 1 out in the 8th inning. The Red Sox trying to pad a 5-2 lead. Here's Trot Nixon. 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and last time up he was called out on strikes and a backdoor breaking ball from Jamie Navarro that looked to be quite a bit outside. Ball 1 high. So if the Orioles can hold the lead, of course they blew the 2-run lead in the 9th yesterday. If the Red Sox can maintain their advantage in this one. Boston would get back within 3 games of the first place Yankees. They have Veras picked off. Konerko throws to Caruso, back to Konerko, and Veras is tagged out.
Well, he was going somewhere because he was leaning towards second base, and if it's a hit and run play that was put on, you can't get picked off on that. You're not trying to steal a bag. You're just going on the pitch. Now you see Veras leaning and now caught in the rundown, and he'll be tagged out by Konerko, the first baseman. A little too anxious over that first base bag.
Still looks a little tense, still adjusting to life as a major leaguer. 1-1 now on Nixon with 2 outs and the base is empty. 8th inning, 5-2 Boston. 2 balls and a strike. Now 3-1 on Nixon, with Darren Lewis hoping for a chance to hit here in the 8th. Up the middle, Durham a long way to his right, throws on the move, not in time. Nixon has his 2nd infield hit of the ball game. The Red Sox have 10 hits.
I think Durham's going to be happy when this game is over here this afternoon. It's been a real battle for him out there at second base. 3-1 curveball to trot Nixon. But he was playing him to pull, especially with that count of 3-1, and the fact that curveball, you move over a little more to pull, and he hits the ball to his right. So long way to go for Durham to try to get that out.
Now Lewis tries to bunt and pops it up back here. Darren 0 for 3, but he has walked, stolen a base, and scored a run. Then he picked up an RBI with a ground out in the 4th. 5-2 Red Sox, 8th inning. But Saberhagen with another solid performance today. The Red Sox really needed one coming into today. In 3 of the previous 4 games, the opponents had scored in double figures in runs. Tampa Bay did it in both games of the series at Fenway, and Chicago did it yesterday. The only game of the last 4 which the opponents were kept out of double figures. Of course, the game Pedro pitched here on Friday night. The ball up and in. 2-1 on Lewis. Saberhagen has restored order, giving the bullpen a needed rest. It looks like he'll be coming back out for at least 1 more below pitch count. No action in the bullpen. Low throws to first.
One of those days he could get a complete game, his first in a long time.
He hasn't had a complete game in the majors since 1995. Or in the minors either, for that matter.
He would have went probably 1 more inning in his last outing, but the Red Sox had a long inning where they scored a lot of runs and they got him out of there.
Lewis pops it up along the first baseline. Konerko in fair territory ends the inning. The Red Sox strand a runner. They've left 8 to go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-2 Boston. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the JCS New England Television Network.
All nannies shall dress inconspicuously.
How do I look? Gorgeous.
They must follow orders to the letter.
As long as I am living under your roof, you'll do as I say.
And must report promptly for duty 5 days a week.
Well, late. Can't you ever be on time for anything?
The Nanny.
You think this look happens by accident?
Redefining great comedy 5 times a week.
The Nanny, weeknights at 7 on Channel 5.
As a teen, it's easy to lose sight of where we're going.
To lose touch with what's real, with what's important.
Easy to become lost in things like alcohol.
Family problems.
And peer pressure.
It's easy to lose your sense of purpose.
But there is an answer.
The Boys Town National Hotline.
1-800-448-3000. 24 hours a day.
7 days a week.
They're ready to help you make choices, help you find your direction.
The Boys Town National Hotline.
No matter how lost you feel,
They can help you find your way back.
Maine has some of the most important salmon habitat in the world. Forest roads and skidder crossings can have a detrimental impact on these fisheries if best management practices aren't used.
Recently, an agreement was signed by the Department of Environmental Protection and the Maine Forest Service, which authorizes Forest Service rangers and foresters to work with loggers and landowners regarding water quality issues. For more information on best management practices and how you can help to protect our salmon habitat, please call the Maine Forest Service.
Back in Chicago, heading to the bottom of the 8th. White Sox trailed by 3. On the scoreboard, Kansas City leads Cleveland 6-5 in the 9th. Jermaine Dye is at 2 homers today. He is 16 for the year. He's 4 for 4 in that game with 5 runs batted in. He's homered 5 times in the last 3 games. Toronto beat Tampa Bay 6-3. Pat Henkin, the winner, now 6-6. Billy Koch saved it his 11th. Sean Green hit 2 home runs, 22 and 23. Jose Canseco hit his 30th. To lead the American League. Base hit under the glove of Veras for Brooke Fordyce. He's on his way to second with no problem. The leadoff double for the Chicago catcher. There had been 9 men in a row retired by Saberhagen before that. Baltimore, and they're come from behind to take the lead over the Yankees. Got a grand slam from B.J. Surhoff. It's 7-3. Mendoza now in relief of Clemens. It was 10-0 Detroit. It's now 10-5 over Minnesota in the 7th inning at the Dome. Anaheim and Oakland in a few minutes. Seattle and Texas tonight.
Hard line shot here by Fordyce right down that third base line. Looked like it deflected maybe off the glove. It's hard to tell of Wilton Veras, but it's going to be the leadoff double, and Jimmy Williams making his way out to the mound.
So Saberhagen departs after 7+ innings, matching his longest outing of the year. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs both earned. Again today, no walks. And he struck out 2. He can win it. He cannot lose it. And he gets a nice hand from the Red Sox fans who are here, seated behind the dugout on the first base side. Derek Lowe, the new pitcher. We'll be back right after this.
Honey?
Hi, baby.
Oh, hi, Daddy.
There's ordinary beer. Then there's the Michelob Light. Beer or Michelob?
How's it going, Mike? Man, are you okay? Sweet catch at the game today. I still can't believe you held on. Just make sure you take care of the rubble. Yours truly, Pedro Martinez.
Hey, honey, oh!
Back at Comiskey Park, the bottom of the 8th inning, a 5-2 Red Sox lead, but the leadoff man, Brooke Fordyce, with a double. That will run Bret Saberhagen from the game. And Derek Lowe will take over. This will be appearance number 39 for Derek Lowe, a record of 0-2. The last time he worked was in the Tampa Bay series back at Fenway. That was on June the 30th, 2/3 of an inning in that game. So he's had a few days off to rest. Another outstanding performance today by Saberhagen.
He should win his 3rd straight if the bullpen can protect it. So Sean Lowe, the pitcher in the game right now for Chicago, and Derek Lowe for Boston. They're not related as far as we know. Craig Wilson, the batter. He singled to left in the 3rd. He grounded out and drove in a run in the 5th. Fordyce, the runner at 2nd, nobody out. Wilson and Mike Caruso due up. Derek Lowe missed down and in, 1-1 on Wilson. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wilson, a Chicago native, born in Chicago, went to high school in Franklin Park, Illinois. Swing and a miss. Then he went on to Kansas State University, where he was the Big 8 Player of the Year as a senior. He hit .416, was a first-team All-American. He holds the Kansas State career records for hits, runs batted in, doubles, total bases. They traditionally have not had a great baseball program at K-State. The 2-2 from low. Chopped to short, charged by Merlone. 1 out. Fordyce to third.
Another good sign there for Derek Lowe. He had a couple of very good sinking fastballs, and of course that's his bread and butter pitch. That's how he gets a lot of ground ball outs.
The 8th inning, 5-2 Red Sox. Man at third with 1 out for Chicago. Here's the number 9 hitter, Mike Caruso. He reached on a fielder's choice in the third and was thrown out trying to steal. And then he popped out on a bunt try to first baseman Mike Stanley in the 5th. Red Sox are in tight at the corners. Barris in on the grass, Stanley on the edge of the grass. And a low miss actually through, strike 1. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 on Caruso, the hardest man in the league to strike out. He averages 1 strikeout for every 23.2 plate appearances. He's fanned just 13 times all year. 290 at bats.
7 walks and 13 strikeouts.
Sure, the White Sox would like a higher on-base percentage than his .289. It's very low. Derek Lowe throws, fouled off the foot of Caruso. He'll be followed by Ray Durham. Another 1-2. Chop back to the mound. Lowe looked Fordyce back and threw out Caruso. Terrific play by Derek Lowe, taking advantage of his height. And for a moment, they almost had Fordyce in a rundown. He went scurrying very quickly back to third base.
Doesn't hurt to be about, what, 6'5", 6'6" in the case of Derek Lowe, and also played a little basketball in his day, so he has some jumping ability. And able to make that play, keep the runner at third, and get the out at first base.
He was actually a very highly recruited basketball player out of high school in Dearborn, Michigan. He found himself as much more of a basketball prospect. Then he got drafted in baseball, somewhat to his surprise, and decided to pursue that avenue.
Somebody had to see that sinker ball, I guess.
Ray Durham, the batter. Red Sox cornermen still in close. High chopper down to Stanley. It wouldn't stay fair. Would have been an easy out in the end of the inning. Durham has a life at 1 ball and 1 strike. He's 1 for 3 today, a third inning single to right. Lowe is 6'6", 200 pounds. From Dearborn, Michigan, now lives in Fort Myers, Florida, the Red Sox spring training home. 26-year-old graduate of Edsel Ford High School in Dearborn. 1-1 pitch, close, but a ball. So the Edsel, the automobile, I guess, was not the only thing named after.
No.
Edsel Ford. Line down the play to the left. Eric Lowe was first team All-State in basketball in high school. If I'm not mistaken, he was going to go to Eastern Michigan on a basketball scholarship when he was selected by the Mariners in the 8th round of the '91 June draft. Decided to sign. On the ground to short. It should end the inning. Merloni to Stanley. A good stretch by Mike. And the leadoff double does not hurt the Red Sox. We go to the 9th. 5-2 Boston.
How long does it take to earn free air travel? Book your trip on Southwest Airlines website, and you'll get Rapid Rewards flight credits twice as fast.
You are now free to move about the country.
Southwest Airlines website gives you every fare and every flight, so you have everything you need to book a trip. Honest.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hi, come on in. Hey, it's good to see you.
How are you? These are the days.
Something smells great.
Fetzer days. Enjoy the wine.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. You can lease a new '99 four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer for only $299 a month, with only $624 due at lease signing. That's right, just $299 a month. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Boston Red Sox baseball has been brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places and do things you never thought possible. Fly Southwest Airlines. And by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. Not far from the shores of Lake Michigan, Comiskey Park, 16,495 decided to spend the holiday here watching the Red Sox and the White Sox. They watched Chicago take a 1-0 lead in the second on a long homer to left by Paul Konerko. But then Troy O'Leary got a 3-0 fastball from Jamie Navarro with Mike Stanley aboard. Hit a 2-run homer in the third, and the Red Sox have led ever since. It's now 5-2 as we head to the 9th. And Bobby Howry, their closer, has come in to get some work. Former summary that we showed you not quite up to date. So we fast forward to the current summary, which shows that Saberhagen threw just 69 pitches in his 7+ innings, faced one man in the 8th. Big day for Konerko, but his squad on the short end of the 5-2 score. And here's Howry.
Howry, the closer on this club. White Sox are off tomorrow. He has not pitched in this series, so getting him in here in the 9th inning to get a little work in. Overall for Howry, his 33rd appearance. We mentioned saves. He's got 13 on the season.
Sean Lowe pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief for Chicago. He gave up 2 hits and walked 1. He struck out 2. Jose Offman greets Howry with a fly ball to left center, handled by Singleton. 1 out. Offerman now 0-5. Action in the bullpen for the Red Sox. I would guess that's Tim Wakefield. We can't see into the bullpen from here. Brian Daubach, 1 for 3, a single and a walk. He has scored a run. He's also struck out. Broken bat, grounder up the middle. Durham, Konerko, 2 quick outs, and a mock cheer for Durham from the small crowd here.
A rough treatment for Durham, one of the best players on this ball club. Last year All-Star team, and he has had a difficult day today, but the fans getting on him just a little bit.
Two outs. The batter Mike Stanley. He's been on base 3 times. Grounded out his first time up, but since then he doubled and scored in the O'Leary homer in the 3rd. He singled in the 5th, walked in the 7th. Takes a Howry fastball right down the middle for strike 1. In the bottom of the ninth, the White Sox have the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up: Singleton, Thomas, and Ordonez. Fastball ran inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good live arm for Hardy. That fastball clocked at 94 miles an hour with a little movement on it, tailing inside to the right-hander.
Our friend Dennis Eckersley would call that hair. Would he not?
Little hair on it?
Hot hair today.
Did you mention that it was warm here in Chicago?
I don't think we've gotten around to that yet. We've been remiss these 2.5 hours or so we've been on, failing to mention that it's hot. It's like this every day in Florida in the summer. We're heading to Tampa Bay after the game. Out of play. Nice catch in the upper deck.
Well, the good
one of
news,
the 10 or so fans up there.
the good news, we're inside in Tampa Bay for the next 4 nights,
Yes.
so playing conditions will be comfortable.
Red Sox struggled with that Devil Ray team. Full count now on Stanley. Red Sox were swept in the 2 games at Fenway Park by the Devil Rays. Swing and a miss. Stanley goes down swinging. Red Sox just 3-6 against the Devil Rays. Howery has a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th. It's going to be Tim Wakefield on to try to save it, with the Red Sox leading 5-2.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. Lease a new 99 Chevy Malibu for only $219 a month and leave your checkbook at home. With 0 due at lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration extra. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
We're gonna change your mind about coloring your gray with the natural look of Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Just for Men penetrates hair deep inside where natural color begins. Simply apply, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
Back in Chicago, heading for the bottom of the 9th in the final game, the rubber game of this 3-game series. The Red Sox lead 5-2. And Tim Wakefield's on to try to save it for Bret Saberhagen.
7 saves on the season for Wakefield. This appearance number 24 for Tim, a record of 3-7. Last outing was against Tampa Bay back on July the 1st. His first appearance of this White Sox series. Red Sox have been able to get some pitchers a little bit of rest in this series, with Pedro going deep into the ball game, and the same today with Saberhagen.
Job well done by Derek Lowe. He came in last inning after the leadoff double by Fordyce. Got all 3 men he faced on 3 groundouts, prevented that run from scoring. So 1 perfect inning for Lowe. Now Wakefield trying to save it for Saberhagen. Ball 1 up and away. Of course, the only game the White Sox won out of the 4 last weekend at Fenway was the game in which Wakefield came into the 9th. The Red Sox leading 6-4. He gave up 3 runs, including the home run to Craig Wilson that gave Chicago the victory. And that came right after Lowe had breezed through 3 innings. A little more difficult with a knuckleball pitcher to be sure what you're going to get out of the bullpen day after day. It's different than if he was a fastball pitcher, primarily like so many of the top closers are.
Well, they got off to a great start, the 7 straight, before getting blowing a save. But you're right, John. It's almost like when he was a starting pitcher. He'll get into those streaks where he's just you can't beat him for about 5 or 6, and he'll have a rough streak. That's the danger of having him as a closer. But really, when you look at the Red Sox staff the way it is now, I mean, there's really no other option.
Right. Here's a nasty knuckleball. Plenty of movement on that pitch. Singleton's 0 for 4. And Wakefield has his first strikeout in the 3rd for Boston pitchers today.
Always nice to keep those guys off base who hit in front of Frank Thomas. The knuckleball here, as you'll see it dart down and away from Singleton.
White Sox have had just 5 base runners today. Frank Thomas takes strike 1. He's 0 for 3. Top 5 hitters in the Chicago lineup today combined 1 for 17. They only hit Ray Durham. Thomas in the hole 0-2. Chop foul down the end of the White Sox dugout. 5-2 Red Sox. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 9th. Yankees still trailing Baltimore 7-3. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Yankee Stadium. Another 0-2 pitch. He struck him out. Wakefield appears to have a very good knuckleball today. Back-to-back strikeouts, and the White Sox down to their final out.
Well, these got to be good conditions for Wakefield. Hot weather. You got some breeze today, a little bit windy, and that knuckle really dancing for him there against Frank Thomas. That's a great shot, that close-up shot from behind home plate. Very little rotation on the seams of the baseball.
Maglio Ordonez, the batter. The 1-1 pitch ripped into left. So the White Sox are still alive, and Ordonez keeps his hitting streak alive.
He's a good player, isn't he?
Yes, he really is impressive. Jerry Manuel thinks that he will be on the All-Star team, and he seems to be the most logical representative of the White Sox. He's now hit in 7 straight games.
You know, he looks to be in much better shape than a year ago. He was heavy last year, Ordonez. It looks like he's taking some weight off, but it's paying dividends for him.
Carlos Lee 0 for 3. 2 outs. They're playing behind Ordonez at first. Red Sox leading 5-2 in the 9th. Wakefield trying to save it for Saberhagen. Up and away. 2-0. He doesn't want to lose Lee. That'd bring the tying run to the plate, and it's Paul Konerko on deck, the big right-handed power hitter who's had a big day already. Lee drives that to center, right at Lewis, and the Red Sox win. Wakefield saves it for Saberhagen, and the Red Sox win 2 out of 3 here in Chicago to begin this 10-game road trip. Final score, Boston 5, Chicago 2. The totals and more from Comiskey Park right after this.
Major League Baseball introduces the Sports Specialties All-Star Sunday, an exciting doubleheader coming to Fenway Park. George Bret, Kevin Costner, Matt Damon, Jim Rice, and many more compete in the All-Star Celebrity Hitting Challenge. Can a team of baseball legends and Hollywood sluggers conquer the Green Monster? Then it's USA versus the world as the top 50
face that epitomize